going to be the coldest time of the year when I finally get round to doing some work to this. But the other things that I need to do, I need to change this because it's all corroded. You can see I've got a hole up there, I don't know. So we've got to get this bottle off, I've got to change that. And I also want to start the respray on this as well. So I'm going to take these corner pieces off, take them in the shed, and I'm going to paint them red. And then at some point see if we can drop the doors, do the doors. But I think the doors will be a little bit more trickier. That way in the summer then I've just got the window. As you can see, we've had a bit of a clear up. We've still got a long way to go yet though, before it's where I need it to be. I want to get rid of all the rubbish on the floor as well, so I'm not tripping over. I do need at some point this week to strip the bike down. I haven't even started in there. It'll be a whole week. I've still been messing around with that little 125, but I want to go through this shed a little bit and clear up some of the crap that's lying around. I want to move all that metal over there, move all that lot down there, and then I want to get the airline and evacuate as much of the dust as I can possibly get out. I need to sort out some of the shelving as well because I'm still collecting more rubbish and I've got nowhere to put it. Cut long story short on that one. And the weather's a lot colder than it was in the summer. I mean, this shed, that's funny because it gets so hot in the summer you can't work in here, and now it's so blinking cold you still can't work in here. But at some point we've got to get that engine in, and we'll get that engine out, get that other one in. So I'm clearing that bench because I actually want to work on it on here. Unfortunately the wood has dried out and I've got splits everywhere in my worktop now, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of work to this first before I get into it. So cut some wood, some little V's, and we'll knock them in, and then we'll put the sander over the top of this, and then we'll varnish it again one more time, and we'll get the engine on here. And I think if we do it on here, that way I can put a cover over it. I don't have to do it all in one hit. I don't have to do it the same day, is what I'm saying. I can come back to it in a couple of weeks' time. As long as I cover everything up, keep the dirt off, we'll be fine. I know I've got a... Right, I want to show you the state of this. The sun gets behind the bonnet over years, and just disintegrates the plastic. It's just one of them things you get with lorries, some more with it than others. Apparently the best water bottles to go for are the black coloured ones, because they don't seem to destroy in the sunlight like these ones do. Now this one that's on here now, that also started to go, but it wasn't going to the point where it was blowing all the way through. So what I did, and you could try this because it worked for me, is a blowtorch on a soldering iron and just gently heat that surface up so it remolds and melts that knackered plastic, and it's solid. It is not blowing through. Here was the worst, and it's just reactivated it. Really, you get it to the point where it's just at its melting point, and you can see the plastic sort of swimming on the surface, and that's basically what you need to do. I've got one of the covers off, just got the other cover to remove, and then we can paint those up at some point. You see here that I really went for it there. Anyway, got to fill it back up. Old bucket of water sits in that. Okay, so I've done it again. I've gone forward in time without explaining what it is I'm going to do. Well, I'll tell you now, I'm not going to be doing that bullshit again. So, if you remember where I left off on the very, very last video, we were in the process of fitting lighting, as you can see down there, and I did say that I needed some more paint because I've run out of lacquer for the corner pieces. Now I've removed those. I've also removed the bottle. I've removed those corner pieces, so they are going to be the first thing that's going to get paint. The next thing I want to do, and I can drop the door, so before I put them back on, I'm going to unclip these and I'm going to take doors off, one door at a time. I do honestly hope that I can get this painted quick enough where I don't get robbed, because that door will be missing and I can't turn the truck round. So I will probably tape some plastic in front of that just to give people the effect until we can get it done in the whole day. So I need to be up early in the morning, really, quick sanding, and then put the red on, let that dry, get the lacquer on, and quite literally at the end of the day get that door put back on, regardless of how dry it is. This one is not so bad. Still going to have to tape up the gap, but I can do that one overnight. So I can do the lacquer and then leave it in the shed overnight and then put it back on in the morning. But this one is going to be an immediate replacement. So I need 2 people for this to hold the door handle while I shunt the hinges in place and put everything back on. So I will have to do scratch marks around the hinges so I know exactly where they go. Draw some black lines so I know exactly how to line them up. And then hopefully we'll have 2 red doors, red corner pieces, and then all we've got to faff about with is around the window, which we'll need doing desperately. And we've got to get behind this rubber and put a load of black sealant in there because water's getting behind it. And I've just noticed that it looks a little bit, I've already done this job once with a new window, but I think we are going to have to put some black sealant behind that. I don't want to, but I think if we do that before I paint it, we'll be good to go, and that will keep the water out of that area. Does not matter about the seal, because when you order a new window, you get a new seal with it. So it's just a piece of trim, nothing particularly special. Guys, here you go. So I brought them, they're already dry. I've just brought them in just so as they'll bake a little bit better in the warm air in the house, because it's a little cold out there at the moment. So tomorrow we'll refit those and hopefully get the flashing lights fitted as well. But I want to just make sure that I get the sequences right on those other lights. Then they've all got to be powered up at some point. So I may very well put them on first and connect up a load of wires and then run the wires into the cab, because they've all got to go to a separate switch somewhere in this house, and I don't know where the hell it is. There is a controller as well for the other existing lights, but again I don't know at all where that is. Well, I've had all night to dry, but I don't know if you can see that surface or not. It's really quite disappointing. Yeah, I don't know what went wrong. It's just a bit weird. I mean, it's quite good over there, but along that area there, I can't put that on the lorry like that. No way. That one ain't much better. I mean, even though I got the colour even on that one, this one, something really did go wrong on this one. It's because I had a white underneath, it was a little tricky to lay the darker colour on. Oh, God's sake. When people open the door. So basically it didn't cover very well. You can see, apart from the fact that all the dust hit it as well, it's darker in areas and lighter. I mean, light there, dark there. So you can see where I went like that, and then you can see when I went like that. That little gun wasn't really appropriate for this job. Bit of a shame really, the fan setting isn't wide enough. So I'm going to have to rub that down, get the shine off, and I'm going to have to hit that with another red. I don't have any choice. However, one of these somewhere, I can't remember where, there it is, dribbles from the white paint underneath. So what I shall do is I shall mark out and drill all the holes for my lights, and then I will rub that down again today and put one more coat on that and then re-lacquer. And then that really is the last, because I ain't got any more lacquer left after this anyway. So as long as I don't cock it up, we should be fine. It ain't suitable. Right. Famous word they use in movies, which begins with cluster and ends with an F, and that's exactly what has gone wrong here. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I've learnt this one 1,000 times. sand the paint down, fresh paint, leave it for a day or two to go hard, and then put the bloody paint on top. And what do I go and do? I'm rushing it yet again because I've got to get everything done, and it's just gone to shit. Look at that. Reacted. I give up. There's only one way I'm going to get around this. I've either got to strip this shit right back to zero again, or I take these down to scrappers, chuck them in the back of a lorry, and take another 2 more off another lorry. That's the only way around this, realistically. Bit better, isn't it? Haha, I cheated. I switched them. These are different. I took the old ones down and I swapped them over and repainted them, but guess what? It still didn't go right. Something went wrong with my blasted gun because it's spitting crap out. I had it in there cleaned it all out, brushed it, everything, and yeah, problems. Never mind, I'm not overly worried about that at this point in time. So what I'm going to do, as you can see, the holes are drilled for the lights that have got to go on. But I was sitting in the house earlier and I was thinking to myself, now how nice that would be to have a piece of pinstripe around that, like you get with the old classic lorries. And I've already got pinstripe on the bonnet, but it's tape. It's tape pinstripe, and I hate this stuff. And I've just been doing that fuel tank, haven't I, for that 125. And I've got some proper pinstripe lying around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray some black on that. And tomorrow I shall go and buy myself another tin of this because I have a run out. And go from there, really. And I will use my other gun I've got in there because my little one is not performing at the moment. There's something wrong. When it sprays, instead of it spraying a nice even fan, it's spraying a little bit that way and a little bit that way and leaving a ruddy gap in the middle, which is not easy to paint with. You can see if you look closely, you can see where I've been. So yeah, that one didn't come out so bad, but that one's terrible, and I ran out of paint anyway. And I had to really thin that paint out to get the most out of it, which didn't really work. So yeah, we'll get another tin tomorrow. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to my paint stores, which is looking a little empty. I have a black in here somewhere. Yeah, I know. Rattle cans never work, did it? This is empty. So much for that idea. No, I didn't have enough flaming black. There ain't any more in here. For God's sake. I've got some water-based black. That's a bit of a nuisance. But it'll work equally. Probably be better actually because it won't blink and well react. Which I think I just found a new technique for painting. A little rub down with sandpaper and then white spirit, because this is base coat, on the rag and give it a good scrub. It actually strips the surface off, but it does it so finely that it moves paint over the top and takes that sandpaper look away that you see. Quite pleased with that. Pity it's not staying. So the pinstripe's in place. I'm hoping and praying that the red paint won't react to that black that I put on there, because two different styles or types of black. I've wiped spirit it down. I'm going to take it in the house now and just leave it to dry. Fingers crossed we don't get reaction. Okay, and we end up over the top with some new paint, and guess what happened? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? The paint reacted, the black paint reacted to the new red. Different brand of paint, so I've managed to wipe it all off with some thinners, but I tell you now, under that tape is that black paint, and I'm about to put some 2K over the top of that. I can guarantee you that that's probably going to blow and blister, and I'm just yeah, But the only thing I can do, and I don't want to do it because I've already painted over the top again, because I wiped everything off, hasn't quite gone to plan. I've got brushed hair on there for some reason, and I've got oh well, we'll see what happens. We'll peel the tape off, we'll stick the 2K on and see if it blisters and blows, which I'm expecting it to do, but it don't matter too much if it do, because it's 2K. We can always sand that back, can't we? Put a bit of black over it and then redo it again, but we shouldn't have to keep repeating everything. Should get it right. Okie dokies. So this is the end of this video. I managed to cock this job up as well. Drilled some holes in the wrong places. I mean, I'm rushing like a headless chicken because I'm trying to hit the deadlines on Fridays, and already missed one. In fact, I'm acting like it's the end of the world and I've got to get that last video out. Yardy, 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 blah, 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 and all that. Right, I hope you're ready for this. This is what I was trying to do last year, which I'm quite chuffed with. So I definitely think the whole of this lorry needs to be, the whole lorry needs to be red all over. I think this would look absolutely beautiful, and I think I need to readdress that because that visor is just too big for the truck. The lights are smashed, the spots are too bright anyway. So here's what I did wrong. Well, it's stupid fault. Completely knobbed it up. So what I've done is, and I'm not worried about this light being out, I can rectify that. It's meant to curve with that actually, but that didn't quite go to plan because that screws in the wrong place, so I can shift that over. But what I've done is I've ordered some round small lights. Yeah, what's going on here? That looks a bit, the paint looks a bit faded. I think we need a wash and a polish. Anyway, I've ordered some little tiny round lights, side marker lights, so I'm going to drill out a hole and just bung them in the middle there and as many as I can fit. There's 10 coming, so that's 4 a side. They will get wired up to the side lamps straight away. So the moment I drill the holes and put them in, I'll run wires through, so I've got to take those side pieces off again. I ain't got any choice in the matter. Oh, shut up, you noisy shitbag. Flaming dog. Every day that thing's wafting its mouth off. I love dogs, I really do, but that one is so annoying. So that's where we're at. So there you go, guys, that's where we're at so far at the moment. So battery's about to die. With that, I'll catch you on the next episode, which will be the brat bike, which will get sorted out. So I'll see you next week. Bye bye.